Hey YouTube, the reason why I'm doing this video is to talk about the fact of not really being sure. We are going through so much with attacks, spiritual attacks, physical attacks, emotional attacks, and so many different things. And most of these attacks is to have you relying on somebody else, relying on someone else's opinion, relying on someone else's intellect. I cannot tell you that the enemy will come with tricks of dementia, memory loss, and all these different things to get you to be relying on someone else, dependent. See, the enemy never wants you to be independent. Independent, it does not want for your life, does not want for you, so it will play all kinds of tricks with you. It will play mental tricks. It will play psychological tricks. It will sit up there and try to hold you by any means necessary. When I tell you hold you by any means necessary, I mean just that. I mean, not just with you, it will play tricks with your children. It will play tricks with your vision, your eyesight, the type of person that you are, your intellect, your intelligence. You will have studied for something, and at the same time it will sit up there and make you feel like you have not studied at all. These are the tricks of the enemy. The enemy goal is to have you dependent on them. The enemy's goal is to have you in need of someone else so that it can have a way in. Remind you that external is always trying to become an internal factor. The internal is me solely taking control. The external always wants to be a factor. See, we sit up here and we talk about all of these different things about being our own masters of our own destiny, being people of destiny and everything, but nobody ever told you about the pain that goes along with being a person of your own destiny and being a master of your own destiny. See, you have masters nowadays that want to sit up there and tell you, okay, it's easy, it's nothing, because they're not real masters. Those are minions. A minion is under somebody. Those are the new minimum atoms. Those are the ones with authority, but at the same time, their authority is under another person of authority. They never really truly had any form of authority. That's why they never really truly had any attacks or actually had to go up against an opponent, because you have always been up under somebody. You had a authority figure over you where you never really had to feel the punches because it was something they're shielding you. But when that shield is removed, then you actually are the authority figure. Can you actually hold up in the pain? Can you actually hold up against the attack? Can you actually hold up against some of the things that are going to be done against you? Do you even know the enemies of your people? A lot of times we don't even know the enemies of our people, because our people have ended up in a situation where we have become pierced by some of the things that have taken place with us with this stigmata. We have allied ourselves with enemies, and now our enemies look like friends, and they're not. See, one thing about an enemy never will actually stop its attack. That's something you have to understand. And if it do stop its attack, it's something that's going to cause it to restart it, because it could never ally itself with you. But nowadays, this society wants you to ally with things that are fighting against you. Why would I want something that's fighting against me, near me, or around me? I sit back and I think, biblically it sits up there and it says, we have sowed a good seed. It was a parable where the sower sowed a good seed, sowed number good seeds, did nothing but good, right? And then the war came where the enemy had sowed tares, which are weeds, into the field that the good sower sowed. So the good sower sowed good seed, but the enemy sowed tares. And when we sit up there and we talk about these tares, let me tell you something. You're doing the right thing, but your enemy sits up there and steals the reward. And I know it's kind of hard for one to bear, because this is something that I had to do. I'm doing the work, but my enemy wants the reward. I'm going through the turmoil. I'm going through the growing pains. I'm going through sitting up there, waking up in the middle of the night, feeling like my legs are about to break off. I'm going through at work, going to work, sick, well, happy, sad. I don't care what's going on. I don't care if I'm hurting. I'm still going to work. I'm doing the growing pains. I am going through what it takes to have what I want. But at the same time, as I'm sowing good seeds, my enemy is sowing tares. My enemy plans to reap a harvest. See, I sat up there and I thought about why me and a tare can't grow together. No, I don't want to grow like that. No, I don't want to have this mess going on with me. No, I don't want to grow amongst weeds. I cannot be a vegetable growing amongst the weed, because the first thing, the weed is going to outgrow me, because guess what? It seeks out all the nourishment of the vegetable. So no, I have to uproot as a sower, as a harvester. I have to uproot everything from around that vegetable so that vegetable can actually grow. Because if I don't sit up there and put it into good soil, if I don't sit up there and do my job, then it withers away. See, sometimes we listen to these parables, okay, about the seed that sat up there and it fell on a rock. It began to grow, but when the sun came, it scorched it. Okay, had the seed had already started a process of growth, but it fell on a rock. Maybe that had to be removed into the right place. It would not have ended up that way. Okay, then it talks about how it sits up there and the foals came and ate some. Okay, maybe if I had to safeguard it a little bit better, it wouldn't have happened that way. But we know that the laborers are few. We know that there are few people of God in this vineyard. We know that there are few people of God in the field, but at the same time, there's a work that still must be done. We may be the only testament in which one may see and stuff like that. So I have to be careful what I allow around me. If I'm not a drinker, I cannot have a drink around me. Why? Because he's uprooting something out of me. She's uprooting something out of me. Why would I give you that kind of authority? I understand they say, okay, well, Jesus hung with the public and all of this stuff right here. That's fine. That's fine. However Jesus do it, that's his business. But now I'm about my Father's business. And my Father's business says, okay, certain stuff I cannot have dealings with. Not saying that you're sinful or nothing like that. I'm just saying that stuff I cannot have dealings with. So this is what it is. I cannot hang with the drunken. Okay, and I cannot sit up there and partake in certain behaviors of drunkenness. So therefore, I have to depart myself, especially being the type of person that already knows that there's certain parts about my life that is unsober as it is. So I got to stay sobered up and not add to the chaos that Satan already trying to bring into my life, that the devil's already trying to have authority over. So certain things I cannot partake in, nor can I sit up here and socialize in, nor can I have dealings in, because it has no place amongst me. I'm already not sober, so I'm not going to sit up there and go add to my unsoberness with sitting up there drinking and smoking. I'm not going to add to my unsoberness with dealings with certain people. See, I had to realize that it's a reason why Jesus did this a long time ago to me. Side note. I sat up there and my house burnt down. Honestly, burnt to the ground. I could not move into a new apartment until God separated certain people from me. And that's what I started to realize. Everybody can't go into my destiny with me. I would love for you to go with me, but it's some people that are going to be separated from me that cannot walk into my destiny, because my destiny and what they got going on is two different things. God is not going to allow my enemy to walk into my destiny with me. No, you're not going with me. It is a separation. We're not going into destiny together. We're not going nowhere together. You're going to go your way, I'm going to go my way. Because this is God's will. But it's a lot of things that's trying to grow with you. And I'm going to tell you something, it begins to reap off of you. When you sit up there and you talk about Abraham and Lot. Abraham sitting up there growing. Because Lot's connection to him, Lot was allowed to grow. When God removed Abraham and Lot from each other, Abraham went and said, look, I will not have your servant angry with my servant and stuff like that, and I don't want conflict between us. You pick your way of going, and I'm going to pick mine. Pick which way you're going, I'm going the opposite direction. See, there's a reason why I said this. See, I'm not going to go the same way my enemy goes. I'm not going to do what my enemy do. I'm not going to have dealings with my enemy, because my enemy already want a certain amount of authority over me. So there are times when I sit up there and I got to check myself, because I'm going to get a little bit out of pocket, because I got to tell my enemy, look, you don't run nothing round here. You might think you run something around here, but you don't run nothing around here. And this is me telling you this from a sick place. Sometimes your enemy has already got you sick, so they sit up there and they think they run something. Or they sit up there and they got you in a position where you pretty much cannot do nothing to them. So they feel like they run something, so they're going to say certain things to you. They're going to do certain things to you. They're going to sit up there and try to harm you in every way possible. But you're still speaking to your enemy, telling them, you ain't going to run nothing around here. And see, the enemy doesn't understand their place. So you sitting up there, you tell them, look, stay in your place. And then you're going to hear your enemy start to speak certain things. I want what you have. Can you go through what I go through to get it? I want the gift of prophecy. Can you go through what a gift of prophecy takes to get it? Tell you what, I'm going to sit up there and I'm going to follow the word of God. If God give it to you from me, I'm not just going to give you the handkerchief. I'm going to give you the coat too. If the courts give it to you and they giving you everything, I'm going to give you what you're supposed to have. Because I'm going to tell you something. At some point, you're going to realize that it took me doing a whole lot to get where I'm at. And guess what? I didn't go that far. But it took me doing a whole lot, because you don't have the enemies I have. So guess what? When you sit up there and you want the blessings I have, you can have the enemies I have too. And if you can sit up there and you can prosper with the enemies I have, then you can have the blessings I have. And trust me, you ain't going to get that far with the enemies I have. Because they trying to scheme, they trying to find out every move that I'm trying to make. They sitting up there, they want to know how I think, how I move, how I act, why am I smiling, why I'm not smiling, when I'm happy, when I'm sad, what's going on with her. She looked like she fought it the wrong way. I don't understand all the technicalities of it. I just know I don't like nobody that much to sit up there and look at them. I don't like nobody that much. I'm sorry. You might be a nice person. I don't like people that much. Just invest that much time into a person. Even if I'm sitting up there trying to take you out. Patience is a virtue, and that's one virtue I don't have with people. And sitting there and just plotting like that. I'm sorry, I don't have that patience. I don't have that type of patience and that type of virtue. Maybe that's probably why my enemies get a competitive edge, because I don't have the time, the patience, and the virtue to sit there and do that. It would drive me literally insane. because I have issues and complexes that says that I need to be moving, I need to be doing stuff, I need to have stuff going for myself, so I don't have time to invest in other people. I cannot tell you how many times I've sat there, and I used to watch reality TV shows, and I would watch TV shows a lot, and for some weird reason, there was something about me watching reality TV shows that sat up there and took it away from me, because the time that I was investing into those TV shows could have been time that I could have invested into myself. So I'm watching you live your life, and yet and still I'm not living mine. I'm watching Scandal, and yes, to be totally honest, when you start watching Scandal movies and Scandal shows and stuff, I'm not talking about the news, because you're going to watch the news and you're going to find out stuff about people regardless. But I'm not talking about the news, but I'm talking about when you're watching Scandal shows and you're seeing all this scandal go on. At some point you have to realize that that same scandal that they got going on, they're going to introduce it into your life. They're going to try to have it going on in your life. They're going to try to have it going on with you. You know, and stuff like that. And I started looking at my life and how my life became the scandal. The dudes that I was dating, scandal. Everything's scandal. You go to work, it's a scandal. You sit up there, you walk outside the door, it's a scandal. Everything was craving attention and stuff like that. And that's one thing about me. I can't stand something that craves a lot of attention, because I don't really have it to give it to them, because I have to invest in me. You understand what I'm saying? I feel like people that are about something sometimes get a bad rep. Not that you don't care about something, not that you don't care about people or whatever, but you have to invest that into yourself. I don't have time to sit up here and deal with certain things, because I'm too busy trying to invest in me. I'm too busy trying to do what I have to do for me. It requires me to do so much stuff for me nowadays that I don't have time to give you anything. The little time that I do have that's extra, I'm trying to invest it back into that which is an extension of me, which is my children, my family, my work, my people, my ministry, my businesses. I don't have time to give you anything. So this is my growth period, and I don't have time to feed no weeds in my growth period. So with me, I don't have time to invest in that. When you sit up there and you see me looking at something, I'm sitting up there, I'm looking at a ministry. I'm trying to sit up here, I'm trying to grow as far as a person of God. So therefore, I have to sit up there and I have to listen to ministries of people of God to assist in that growth. So I'm not giving my enemy nothing. I have to be careful what I watch on TV. Sometimes I try to watch a show, I have to turn the show off. Nah, that ain't of God. I got to turn that off. I can't tell you how tired I get of doing that, because I'm so sick and tired of not being able to actually watch a decent movie or a decent TV show. And even though they got Perfect, honey, I can't afford too much, but I might have to pay for y'all, because that's what it's probably going to take to actually get a good movie nowadays, watching a Perfect. And I can't really afford it like I want to, but at the same time, I think that's what it's going to take, an investment of that sort to actually bring it to the next level. But with all of this being said, I'm urging you guys to sit up there, uproot your weed, uproot some of this stuff that is taken from you, taking nourishment, taking time from you, taking certain things from you. You have to live your life, and your enemy is going to sit up there, and the enemy wants attention. The enemy will sit up there and wake you up 2 a.m. in the morning. You just be sitting up there like, Lord have mercy, what is this? I'm so sick of this mess. The enemy will wake you up in pain. You just sitting up in pain. The enemy is not for you. Them weeds is not for you. All they're trying to do is create a tear. They want to create a tear in your sleep. They want to create a tear in your life. They want to create a tear in everything. You done decided you ain't having sex. They decide to rape you to create a tear. They don't care how they create a tear. They're going to continue to create tears. That's their job, to sit up there and try to tear your life apart. When you sit up there and you put that weed in its place and let them know you don't grow here amongst the likes of me. I set up here. I want to reap a harvest. I have sown my good seeds. And every time I see a weed come along, I'm tearing you up out the ground because I can re-sow what I pull up with you. But I can't never get back what you absorb from me. And I will not continue to have you to grow amongst me. So I'm telling you now, when you're sitting up here and you're doing what's right for your destiny, and you're doing what you have to do, because even God's going to bless you even in a day. God's going to send some people around you. God's going to anoint you with powerful people of God that's going to be around you, that's going to come. But at the same time, you're standing up there and you're fighting a fight by yourself. I don't have real people of God right now around me. I don't have real people that I can sit up there and sharpen myself with. I don't have the people that I can talk on the phone with right now. It's me going toe-to-toe with Satan by myself. And all I got is the word of God. And this is what I'm finna tell you. I'm standing on the word of God, but I'm also standing on my education, because I had to realize that it's the reason why God sits up there and sends along education. See, a lot of people think that the ministry just deals with the Holy Bible. No, the ministry deals with those school books too. There's some things that I'm going to be able to do because I have the knowledge of doing it. There's some things that I'm going to be able to do. I can't sit up there and be a doctor to you when I don't know nothing about the medical field. Not saying that God is not able to do that. He can. He's going to do a million great things. But at the same time, I believe that I would be a little bit better off if I knew what I'm doing. I think I'll be a little bit better off if I knew how to do it. So therefore, I'm going to take from the knowledge of those that were before me. They weren't prophets. They were just scholars. I'm going to take from their knowledge, and I'm going to grow off of that. And then I'm going to sit up here and I'm going to follow these disciples, because I know the disciples of God got it going on. They sitting up there, they're going to actually do the will of God. I'm going to follow these holy books, because it's multiple holy books. It's not just that holy Bible. You got multiple holy books. I'm finna read these holy books and I'm finna expand off of that. I'm finna sit up here and I'm gonna get this knowledge from these scholars too, and I'm gonna expand off of that. I'm gonna sit up here and I'm gonna grow myself to the point where God can actually use me, and I'm gonna say, God, I have studied to show myself approved, so that I can fight off some of these tactics and these things that the enemy is doing to me, that I had no understanding of, because first of all, I lacked in what? Knowledge. Why do my people perish? Because of the lack of knowledge. I have to first expand myself of the knowledge of God. I have to expand myself of the knowledge of this world. I have to expand myself of the things that are going on. And I have to sit up there and prepare for combat in accordance to God's word. Because the enemy got many tricks that he's going to use against me, and he doesn't care. So, people of God, the biggest thing is about this: don't feed them weeds. Uproot them. Get them from around you. Get them from around you. They look like us. They disguise as terrorists, but they look like us. They disguise as terrorists and they look like family. They disguise as terrorists, but they look like somebody that you would love. And truth be told, they ain't got no love for you. So you sitting up there, you got these weeds disguised as food, and they're not food. They're in your vegetation, but they're not vegetables. They offer no nutrition to you. They offer nothing to you. It's nothing you can give me. All you is a taker. No, I don't want you. Because it'll never give you minerals. It'll never give you nourishment. It will never give you what you need. All it's there for us to do is take. And I'm going to tell you something. It's a battle removing them from around you. It's a battle. Especially when you don't have laborers that can pull them up from around you. So you're battling to outgrow them. You're battling for what's rightfully yours, because there ain't laborers in this field. All of them are timid or either taken out. So you're left alone doing what you have to do to ensure your safety, doing what you have to do to sit up there and make sure they know, I'm not going to sit up here and I'm not going to play with you. Because eventually, if you sit up there and you leave those weeds in there with the vegetation will be killed off and all you will have is a field of weeds. So no, we can't grow together at the same time because I will never grow. I hope these words encourage you. Take care.